Today, Tuesday, May 2nd, 2026. Today's EON rant is brought to you by people who complain um, about teams paying too much money to certain people. Now, I'll say this, okay? Um, First of all, I want to say something like because of what just happened in the NBA playoffs just now. Um, Chet Holmgren, I want to say this, and I want to say this about every basketball team, and this is my thing about basketball teams. The biggest player, the best player is the help. Enough with LeBron James didn't have help. The rest of them are helpers to help you win. Okay? And LeBron James has had all his teams has had this second guy who was that guy, but he was obviously the best. And they say he didn't have help. He didn't have anybody. He didn't have this. He didn't have a guy who knew how to wipe his ass. No, he had guys. They had guys who played their roles, and he had guys that cut the toilet paper. He had guys that flushed the toilet, and he had guys that in case of a stuff toilet had the plunger, and he was the actual toilet. Now that's the NBA for you. SGA with the Oklahoma City Thunder, that's what they are. They have the rest of the guys are solid players. Nobody special in my mind, in my opinion, than him. And Chet Holmgren proved that. Chet Holmgren is a nice dude. He helps out. He's really tall. And he gets on the teams because SGA's there. The second best players or the third best players, the second, third options. We all know they all get like talked about, and they all get heads up, especially by the player. Not heads up. They all get like boosted by the fans that love one player to say he has this guy on his team. He has that guy on his team. No, he might have a guy or two, maybe, but he doesn't have this great team, this great player like you think he is. They just have that one dude, and everybody else looks good, and everybody else looks special, and that's how it works. That's how it works. Scottie Pippen was all because of Mike. And everybody knows Scottie Pippen to this day because Michael Jordan was on the Bulls. And Scottie did this, Scottie that. Scottie was a nice guy, nice player. But no, don't do that. Don't do that. Like, oh, this guy or that guy. No, because it was because of the big guy. Horace Grant, he had Horace Grant on his team. No, Horace Grant is a nice player on a good team. And he looks better as a champion now because many years later because he was on the Bulls. Dennis Rodman is not winning you big games. Dennis Rodman's helping you a lot. So that's how we look at that. Now, getting back to Chet Holmgren, he looked like the dude was like, oh, SGA has no help now because they lost. And yes, he was bad and he looked scared, and I'm not going to lie to you. So people are like, how in the world are they going to pay this dude? Why? That's just idiotic to pay this guy. Well, here's the thing about NBA salary cap in the NBA. The salary cap goes up every single year. And with TV money going crazy, and last year went up 10%, and we assume that it's going to go up approximately 10% a year. Now, it depends on the revenue, but here's the thing. The TV money is a 10-year contract, and it's signed about 2 years ago with all with the streaming sites that are paying up, and it's Amazon, so they don't give a darn about money. Neither does Apple, so they're paying all these teams. I don't even know Apple has that. But Peacock and all these things have unlimited money, so they don't care to pay money. So here's the thing. Now, we expect it to go up 10% a year for the next 5 years, and it's at $155 million, approximately 154 point whatever, but $155 million, the NBA salary cap per season, and it's expected to go up about 10% a year, and that means next year's going to be 170, 187, 206, 226, 249. Now, if that's the case, then he's going to take about less than 50% of the cap. But in today's world, he's going to take 24, 25% of the cap if we assume the cap's going to stay about the same. But the expectations, he's going to probably take about, I'm guessing like, let's go round number. It's about 250 it's supposed to be at in 5 years from now. And by the way, we didn't get to the second apron yet where the big penalties start coming up if you spend past that much money. He's going to be taking probably let's call it even 20%. And SGA's going to take up a lot more because he's going to have to get paid too. I don't know what you're not getting in Oklahoma City guys to come in free agency so much if you're going to overpay them, you're going to say, well, Alex Caruso. No. Alex Caruso is a role player. Hartenstein is not going to beat him. It's not going to beat him in a couple of years unless he takes less money, which I don't know. I don't know what's going to be. I don't know what the big deal is. You have to re-sign these guys with the way this cap's going to keep going up, and you're not getting guys in free agency that are going to want to show up or demand trades to Oklahoma City. Nobody wants to demand a trade to Oklahoma City. But what about Paul? No, Paul George was not a demand for Oklahoma City went out of their way to get him. Now, here's the thing. And you talk about it like in 2 or 3. And by the way, Chet Holmgren, he's a solid player. In 3 years from now, he's going to have 2 years left in his contract. It's not that long. And teams are willing to take on a 2-year deal to get rid of it. And the thing about the NBA, it's only a 5-year deal with the extensions. You're not stuck with players as much. So I look at that and go, why is he's not worth the money? Why isn't he worth the money? Of course he's worth the money. And what do you want a championship? He was a 13-team All-NBA. I mean, he's well worth the money. I don't know what the problem is about that. Like, that's number one. Number two, about players in sports. They go, Malik Willis is getting paid about $30 million a year. As a quarterback, that's not that much. He's probably getting paid like 20, actually. And I look at Jalen Hurts. He's overpaid. Jalen Hurts in 2 years has a potential out. He's getting paid $31 million a year. Just checked it. 10% of the salary cap for your quarterback. In today's world, a quarterback, now for me and you, that's a lot of money, and you're rich as heck, and good for you for these guys that are going to support many generations to come. It's not a lot. And when these guys, by the way, in the NFL, it goes up crazy all the time too, the salary cap. When these quarterbacks sign record-breaking deals every year, and the next guy breaks the next record, resets the market, they call it, to tell you the truth, in 2 years from now, they're not even the top 5, 10 paid quarterbacks in the league anymore. I remember when Patrick Mahomes got paid, people were like, oh, nobody's going to get paid as much as him for a couple years. And it took like a year or two. And suddenly Patrick Mahomes is quote-unquote underpaid. Remember when he got that money, people were like, oh my gosh, that's insane. And now he's underpaid, quote-unquote. It's just insane what's going on. I remember when the Jets signed Justin Fields, and people were like, they're spending too much money on Justin Fields. I think he got paid like $15 million or something to be their quarterback. And I'm like, that's not a lot. In today's world, I don't care if it's journeyman, because today the quarterback, it's a reset market. It's a crazy market. So you're getting paid for me and you? Yes, you're getting paid fantasy money. These guys have fantasy jobs. Let's be real. But with the salary cap and all these stuff, they get paid literally like $15 million or $20 million for a quarterback. For a guy competing for the starting job is literally peanuts right now in the NFL. And that's what you have to understand. And getting back to Chet Holmgren is well worth it because you're not going to get guys in free agency. It's well worth it for them to re-sign him. And the same thing with the guy Durant, to re-sign him too, okay? Because you're only going to be stuck with him for what? If he's not that good for 2 or 3 years? Like, what's his name already? DeAndre Ayton's contract's already up. And that's the problem. And also at the same time, when the Phoenix Suns were telling him, you're not worth that money, we don't care. And suddenly he says, okay, you don't care, then I'll go to the Pacers. And the Pacers gave him a nice contract extension. And suddenly the Phoenix Suns signed him, and that's when the whole thing cracked up. Now they were the 1 seed the next year, but that's when he's like to start thinking and started having his feelings. Well, you get it. You say, who cares about their feelings? Well, here's the thing, that you are right. But here's the thing about, you say about adjustments. All you fans talk to me about adjustments, adjusting to the game, about 3-pointers, about adjusting to the world. So how you got to adjust to these players' feelings in today's world more than ever, that they're not going to be happy. And suddenly he starts thinking, I don't care about you because you didn't want me here, and you told me I'm not worth the money, but I'm only worth the money if some team's going to offer me the contract, like Indiana, like the Indiana Pacers wanted me. But you guys, out of force, you guys took me because I was a restricted free agent. And that's when this whole Phoenix Suns thing collapsed, by the way. It whole collapsed with Durant. It all collapsed with this whole garbage because of the startle from him. And by the way, DeAndre Ayton's out of his contract already out of his contract. And that's how much you're stuck with these guys. You're not really stuck with these people anymore like you once were. So I don't know what the big deal is about paying guys from the salary cap standpoint. And be honest with you, that you should resign Durant. You should resign Chet Holmgren. should have been re-signed. And I'm not going to say to trade him or not, because if you could get the best player in the NBA for him, possibly, then go ahead and take it. But I don't even know what the thing is. He's not overpaid at all for the market of today. Not at all. But getting back to it, yeah. Just like I said about the Thunder, SGA, he's the one guy. Everybody's two. Everybody's a helper. Everybody helps him win. And that's just how it works. And for the next couple years, they're going to be contenders probably. They've been the best team in the NBA for the past 3 years combined, when you combine the 3 years. And that's it. Like, that's how it works. And I believe San Antonio is one monster, and everybody's a nice guy, and they help a lot, and maybe Dylan Harper will be a star, and he's a rookie. But everyone else is, right now, when I see them play, I'm like, I see one dude, and everybody else is a nice guy. Okay? And they're in the finals. Have a good day.